It's not quite the formal gathering I anticipated for my birthday. Cheers. Yeah, thanks. I'm staying over tonight because I don't plan on drunk. My Aspire journey hasn't been just quite as emotional as Stephen's, and probably hopefully a lot shorter. So, first of all, a few things that first line I say yes. Things I've learned from Aspire is possibly a little bit lighthearted. This is not a light switch. Okay. Every time I come to these, I get put in a room that has 5 of those in, and it's not a light switch. All right. And it's a specific place it's meant to be in the bathroom. So every time. So this is me. I'm a head coach in Longshore Club. It's a small club in Lauren, which is not brilliant.
Best place in the world.
Best thing in the world. I've been there for coming up on 3.5 years now. Before that, I was a head coach. I've been coaching for 23 years, and a bit of a hiatus in the middle, 3 or 4 years out. I went through this versus a little bit about me. I've been lucky enough to coach 1 Olympic athlete, 6 Commonwealth athletes, 1 European senior medal, 6 British age group champions, and multiple Irish records, which in Ireland that looks quite good. But it's that little bit of a start, the in Ireland bit, that really drove me around the bend, because everybody in Ireland looks at it, you qualify for the Europeans, you qualify for Olympics, you qualify for Commonwealths, and it does my head in. Because everybody just wants to collect t-shirts and collect tracksuits, and they don't actually seem to give any thought about what they do when they get to the meet. So in 2010, I threw the head up and walked away, decided that it's not what I want anymore. I was getting sucked into a system where participation was the be-all and end-all, and I'm kind of black and white as a person. I don't have a grey area, so you either do it or you don't do it. And if you want to do it to the best of your ability, don't do it just to get a t-shirt. If you want a t-shirt, I've got a logo, and you do not one. So it's kind of me. But a little bit about, this is my dog. Right, my dog is on here because she epitomizes everything that is the white side of my personality. The black side is my swim coaching. It's very definite. The white side, this is Emily. Emily's a great Dane. She's very, very lazy. She suits me down to the ground. She hates walking. We have to time our walks to only 40 minutes, 20 minutes out and 20 minutes back. We have to carry her. She loves sleeping. Again, it's a perfect dog for me. Also, there are certain things I'm not supposed to. This is a common thing. This is something that just bugs me. All right. I find these things. Don't worry, I'm not going to offend anybody. I've got very little empathy anyway, apparently. So, but this is no empathy at all. Things are not sport. Can't really read it. This is rock, paper, and scissors. There's a world championship in rock, paper, and scissors. It is mental. All right. I'm glad nobody in the room is here to coach rock, paper, and scissors, because to be honest with you, you would not have survived. In terms of the Aspire, reflection for me, the very first day, I don't take as much notes as Stephen does, so I don't remember when things happened, but at the very, very beginning, somebody talked about daily reflection. And I kind of thought that I reflected all the time, and I kind of thought I was pretty good at it. I made a lot of notes and I made a lot of effort to reflect. I come away from that first presentation, I think, the first day, I realised that what I was doing was I was reflecting on the athlete's performance and not on my performance as a coach. What I was doing was being critical of how they had performed in a set, or praising them for how they had performed in a set, and not taking time to look at how I had performed in a set. What I did, this was really embarrassing, I took a video camera down and gave it to one of the chaperones and asked them to video a couple of my sessions over a 3-month period. I haven't put anything on here because, to be honest with you, they were really embarrassing. I drink a lot of coffee. What I realised, when I'm coaching, I realised that we coach in a 5 and 25 minute tank, and one of the lanes always disengaged from the sessions that we did. And I couldn't work out why. I couldn't get them, no matter what I tried, I couldn't get them to engage in the session. And what I realised was that I have it quite closed, my body language is quite closed, so I tend to stand like this, which is not, it's being interpreted by the athletes as me not being closed and not wanting to communicate with them. It's really a defensive mechanism for me, I think, more than anything else. So, I drink a lot of coffee and stand like this, a lot of the time. I also realised that our deck around our pool is not symmetrical, so we have 3 metres on one side and a metre on the other side. So I gravitated towards the 3 metre side of the pool because there's more space. And the guys in the 1 metre side of the pool disengaged from the session because I felt that I wasn't engaging with them the same way as I was engaging with everybody else. I tried to move to the other side of the pool, but to be honest with you, I had to stand like this because there was no room to do anything else. So what I did was I kind of moved the lanes around. So every day when they come in, they just swim a different lane. So they don't feel like there's one lane that is always furthest away from me and I don't care about them at all. So yeah, those videos were quite embarrassing. I keep a notebook in my pocket most of the time. I also write a blog, which it was a little embarrassing whenever my performance director phoned me up and asked me to explain myself because I had criticised him in the blog. I didn't realise that anybody read it. But yeah, I don't keep it very often, but I try every now and again. If something annoys me usually, I put it in there and vent. You have to excuse the slightly skewed picture at the side. I did this yesterday. My coaching philosophy. The session with Joe and Sam Whale really helped me with this. It's something that I thought I had nailed down, but it turns out that I didn't really. I coached because it's what I'd always done. Being able to put some more structure to it really helped. A bit of background about me. I don't subscribe to the definition of talent. I just don't think that. I think talent undermines people's ability to work hard. And if you tell people they're talented all the time, you're on the risk of them saying, "Well, I don't have to work. I'm talented." So, I think everybody has potential. And I think talent is a word that we use because we can't think of a better word to use. I'm open for debate on that if you want to, but I'm not talking about it. I want to know the how. I don't want to read a book. I don't want to write the yarn over and have them tell me how to run a session. I don't want to do the test and have somebody else do it. I want to know why, and I want to know how. And I want to win. Stephen said earlier on, if I didn't want to win, I would be out teaching swimming, because I run a swim school and I'd be in the water with kids teaching them how to swim. I wouldn't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning, 7 mornings a week, if I didn't want to win. My little cloud was an addition that Joe insisted that I put in there. I used to call these things soft skills, okay? It's empathy and compassion and trust. It's a cloud on purpose, right? Because sometimes I think I'm not honest with my swimmers. So sometimes I need to be honest with them. I need to tell them how great they are or how poor it's been. But sometimes I need to massage their ego a little bit, so the cloud becomes more translucent and it's a little bit flexible, you know. I also realised just probably yesterday that they're not really soft skills. I used to just think that it was crap that I didn't really want any time to do. It's just coaching. You know, I get hung up on the fact that I'm green or apparently lacking in yellow. But it's just coaching. It's not soft skills and hard skills. It's not tech and tech. It's just coaching, and it's what we do every day. How we interact with our swimmers every day. I'm lucky enough that I don't work in a national program. I see my swimmers 14 times a week, and you can't help but have a relationship with them, and that's all part of that cloud. They say they have to trust me. Sometimes I trust them. Empathy doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be soft and I have to put my arm around them, because as Joe will tell you, I kind of shy away from any sort of emotion or physical contact. She keeps trying to hug me. It's really uncomfortable. So empathy is just understanding where they are. You know, that kind of is something I hadn't thought about before. I'm also doing a Sam Whale stepping thing here. So what I thought I'd do is, more stuff is not sport. Toe wrestling, this is also a world championship. Right, there's a world championship in toe wrestling, and these guys are massive, and I have no idea why, because it's just their toe.
Sponsored by Ben & Jerry's?
Yeah, sponsored by Ben & Jerry's, it's massive. Right, what I thought I'd do about my Aspire journey is just handpick a few athletes, and a little bit about my attitude before the Aspire, and what I changed in attitude to them afterwards. This is Connor, it's Connor Bryan, so it's not, there are two Connors in the program, it's Connor Bryan's. Connor's 20. Before, he never trains, so it's really not worth my time. He still never trains, but we have to find why not. Right? There's always a reason, so rather than just write him off, you have to find out why he doesn't come. Is there some constraint there? He has no interest in competition. Not worth my time. I just want to win, so why am I wasting my time on a kid who doesn't want to race? He still had no interest in competition, but we want to keep him around. He's a nice guy. The kids all love him. It's just good to have about this. He only wanted to sprint, and that partly is because he never trains. He couldn't swim more than 2 lengths of the pool. But it doesn't fit my program. I run a 400 freestyle program, 200 medley program. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. It's not worth wasting time on. But now it's kind of more like can I find a way to bring him through and something that works for him. My job as a coach is to get the best out of him, whether it's a 50 fly or a 400 free that he wants to do. So I have to find a way. He can't do early mornings. I work my time. He still can't do early mornings. Can I make it worth his while? So what we try to do is put things in the morning session that were specific for him, something that he would get benefit from, something that he thought he was right in the session and it was specifically designed for him. This is Connor. Since the Aspire started, he's 6'4", by the way, he's massive. Right, he's huge. He's really athletic. He has a 60-inch vertical jump, box jump. He can jump 60 inches. He's 6'4" and he can jump to here. It's phenomenal. He's now the Irish champion in the 1500 fly, so it was worth keeping him in the program. He's the Ulster record holder in the 1500 fly. He was 24.0 and 53.7 long, which are pretty good times for someone who's only really been training for a year. He also is a club captain, and the way we kept him in the program, we paid for him to do his level 2, and we put him in to learn to swim and work with the kids, to keep him in the sport, to keep him involved. And what it did was at the start of this year, he came back to us and I really enjoyed being around this, so can I do a little bit more? And it paid off for him this year. This is probably something else that isn't sport. Chess boxing! Who knew chess boxing? Alright, what this is, right, chess boxing. These guys sit in a ring with a chessboard and they play chess for 3 minutes. And then they put the chessboard away and they box for 3 minutes. And then they put the chessboard back in the middle of the ring and they go chess for 3 minutes. It's insane. There's a world championship in this. It's crazy. I think you need to, sport coach UK needs to expand wider catchment. One of those Danielle Hill is another relation. Every time somebody sees me, they ask me, is Danielle my daughter? Danielle is 17, it really upsets me when people think I'm old enough to have a 17-year-old daughter. I am old enough to have a 17-year-old daughter, she's not. She can be really hard work. I mean really hard work. When I started coaching, she didn't look at me for 18 months. She didn't look in my direction in any way. Can't really blame her, I suppose, she's not exactly like him. She takes up too much time just trying to get a one-word answer out of her, just pain in the ass. She's still hard work, but I've discovered that the benefits outweigh the negatives. Like we're putting in the time for that hard work has really paid off. She doesn't communicate and it drives me around the bend. It still drives me around the bend whenever I want to talk to her, she turns her back on me. It drives me insane. She still doesn't communicate. We have to find a way. So she really doesn't like eye contact. It's got nothing to do with anything other than she feels uncomfortable talking to people. And what we've done with her is we have now a code word that if something's upsetting me about the way she's behaving in the pool, we have a code word that when I'm addressing the group I throw it in there. It's got nothing to do with swimming. People look at me and go, what the hell is he talking about? But it's also a signal for Danielle that she understands that I want a bit more of her. And it works 2 ways. So if there's something, if I've disengaged for whatever reason, if my coffee's burnt me and it's too hot or something, she uses the same code word in a conversation and then it snaps me back in and makes me realise that I have to engage a little bit more. She complains constantly about a lack of a role model and it just makes me want to scream. In Irish swimming there are no role models. Irish swimming, like I said, if you've got a tracksuit, you've made it. So what we try to do is get her see that she can be the role model and trying to change her perception a little bit. And she's now the senior girl in the club and people look up to her. So rather than complain about not having a role model, try to become one. This is Danielle. She'd kill me if she saw that picture. She's a Commonwealth athlete, European junior finalist. Irish senior record of 50 back. She went 29. Irish junior record of 50, 100, 200 back, 53. It's actually the second fastest Irish swimmer ever in 53. It's not particularly quick. It's 25.0 or 26.0. Sorry. Nobody Irish swimmer has ever broke 26 seconds. So fingers crossed next week. She is undoubtedly our leader. Her attitude and her body language and her communication to everyone else apart from me sets the tone for everything that we do in our sessions. If she's in a good mood, everybody swims real well. And my challenge for me is to make sure she's always in a good mood. She doesn't like talking, but if you say something she really doesn't like, her look would kill you. She would just shoot you down. She's also undoubtedly the funniest we've ever met. And she has a dry sense of humour. It takes a little bit of time to get to know it, but sometimes she thinks she's being rude and she's being cheeky, but she's not, she's just being funny. I hope. Otherwise she's really, really rude. Shin kicking is a sport. Right, and basically what they do is they kick each other. It's nuts. Conor Ferguson is the other Conor. And again, he's a bit of a prima donna. I can't be dealing with it, to be honest. I don't do high maintenance. I have a very low maintenance wife who puts up with me not being at home quite a lot. I just don't do high maintenance. He's still a prima donna, but he is undoubtedly the most talented swimmer currently in Ireland, and we have to find a way to get him to engage with the team. He just wants to go fast, no matter what it is. He just wants to go fast. And at the start, again, it was really annoying because we're doing warm-ups and drills. He just wants to be finished in 40 seconds. Take your time. And he just wants to go fast. So now we've kind of structured it so it's just alright. If you want to go fast, just go fast. He thinks he's always right. And he wants, my attitude to that was, yeah, you just got to do it my way. He still thinks that he's always right. My challenge for me is to prove that the way I want him to do things is good enough to get him to the place where he wants to be, which is the top of the world stage, really. This is Conor, you can't really see it there. He's got a smile on him a mile wide. I don't really know why. That picture was taken after he just missed the Olympics qualifying time, and he has a crazy grin on him, even though he didn't make the time. So his attitude is second to none, really. He's Irish senior record holder. He's not anymore, actually. It's an American guy. I'm not saying American below in case he sees the video. Who took the record in 1500. Still an Irish senior record of 200 back. He's a World Junior Championship semi-finalist, EYF medalist, 2 medals and 3 medals junior Commonwealths. This kid has an attitude. Some people will say it's an attitude problem. We have a sports commentator at home. I don't really remember his name, to be honest with you. They interviewed Conor when he came back from junior Commonwealths, and while he was there, he won quite a lot of silver medals over the summer, 4 silver medals. And when he came home, he was interviewed by Steve Watson. And Steve Watson referred to him as a silver surfer as a compliment because he came home with 4 silver medals. It's pretty good. And asked Conor for a chat. And Conor's response to him was no, because you called me a silver surfer, and I'm not going to win any more silver medals. So he upset me and left, didn't give him an interview. Really annoyed him that he only got 2 golds and 4 silvers. So he's European senior semi-finalist. He's 16. Went to his European seniors a few weeks ago. In the semi-final, he came 14th. And he missed the Olympics by 5 hundredths of a second. It's 9 mil. Drove me around the bend for about 5 weeks. It's 9 mil. In Ireland, if you make the time, you go on the trip. There's so few people. 3 people qualified this year. And if it hadn't been for the American guy who made the time on the back, Conor would have won because he has a B time, but because there's a guy in the same event as he had time, he didn't get to go. He wants to be a world record holder. is to make sure that I've got the skills and that I can provide for him what he needs to get to that stage. Because again, in Irish swimming, we don't hold on swimmers past the age of 17 or 18. They go to university, leave the country, they come over here, they go to America, and it doesn't always work. If we can give them something that they need at home, then it's got to be better for them. And give it a little more. Yeah, another thing's not split. This is the craziest one. Sauna sitting. Seriously? This is a sport that I could do. They just sit in a sauna for as long as possible. It's a world champion. This guy here is the world champion. It's insane. Don't know if he's got a coach or not, but I'm going to do it. And one more swimmer. Erica only swims once a week. It's the best day of my whole week. She loves backstroke. I love backstroke too. All my guys swim backstroke. She's 4. She's in our swim school, and she can swim 4 strokes of front crawl, and 4 strokes of back crawl. And she can do butterfly kick, and she can't do breaststroke at all. She wants to be a mermaid. Taking these guys is the best day of my week. I used to think I do it just to pay the bills, and I do it so that it allows me to do the coaching that I want to do. Turns out I have a little bit of empathy too.
You're making it out there.
Because these guys here, I take Monday through Friday, and I'm in the water sometimes having this. Erica, first time she came to the lessons, she just giggled the whole time. And I couldn't work it, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And in the class, I said, "You have a good time?" She goes, "Yeah, it was brilliant." I says, "What are you laughing about?" And she goes, "I peed on you." She'll be laughing for 25 minutes. Got it. I don't get in the water with her anymore. But she's a superstar. So, the future is kind of exciting. This is the last slide, and I hope I haven't taken as long as you said. So this is the future. The future is kind of exciting for me. So there's lots of changes coming up. Swim Ireland has just sacked their high performance director and all their performance coaches. I will be applying for the job. I'm quite happy in the club where I am, but it's exciting times that we can hopefully change the outlook on Irish swimming to podium performances at international stages instead of just collecting t-shirts and collecting pins. But for me personally, it's a massive year. You have to think about that one for a second, Steve. It's a bomb, and an arrow, and a robin. So, my wife and I are expecting our first baby. Probably means I'll spend more time in the pool. So we're going to test the theory. We're hoping for twins, fingers crossed, so that we can test the nature of the nurture thing. Really nurture one, and then we go to and then we'll know. So that's kind of my spark in this. So I found one more thing. This is just a paraphrase from a JFK. I found it yesterday. I wrote it while you were talking. But I found it yesterday. As a paraphrase of his speech that he gave before he got shot. I choose to coach, and I choose to coach swimming. It's not because it's the easy thing to do or the only thing that I'm qualified to do. It's because it's hard. It's because it's a challenge every single day, and it tests me to my limits every single day. It's a challenge that I'm willing to accept, and it's a challenge that I don't want to put off, and it's a challenge that I'm pretty determined to win. Now, he was talking about the moon, I'm not. I'll never go to the moon. So, yeah, that's my inspired journey. I would answer questions, but
Thank you. Well, does anyone have any questions?
When are you due?
December, so it's still very early days.
I do have a wee question for you, Peter. With your the stories that you told of your athletes and the way you started looking at them differently, that's quite a big paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Was there an aha moment, a light bulb moment for you, or was it a gradual thing over the course of the program?
I think it was a gradual thing. I couldn't, whenever I was asked to do this, I couldn't have put down on paper. I really struggled about what had changed took me a long time. I actually finished it yesterday because I really struggled to point out what had changed. And it wasn't until I went back and I looked at that. I would have to say that the mentoring, I didn't avail of Joe as much as Stephen did, but the mentoring really helped. Even though I think we met about 3 or 4 times. It's just something I wasn't comfortable with. The whole feeling about the Aspire thing was a feeling of discomfort all the time, constantly. Feeling that I think there was one. I think it was Joe was taking you and Sam, and everybody was talking about why they coached, and I couldn't work out. And I'm sure everybody coaches because they want to win. I know everybody coaches because they want to win. I don't think nobody else said it. It was really annoying me. And it came out of me, and I just want to win. That's the only reason I do anything. Otherwise, I stay in bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. And the way I look at these guys is that they obviously want to win too. Otherwise, they wouldn't get up and swim at 5 o'clock in the morning. So if that's what they want, and that's what I want, then we both want the same thing. And it's just about trying to find a way to get the best out of them. It's a challenge because they are all different. Danielle thinks that I favour the boys. And the boys think I favour Danielle because they get treated differently. And it's trying to get them to understand that they're different, so they get treated differently. Very much glad.
Thank you, Pete. Any more questions?
Yeah. Pete, see the underage kiddies, you said
Yeah.
best day of your week, the best sessions of your week. Is there anything from those sessions that you have learned or have embraced that surprised you enough that you could then take them into your high performance environments?
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. If Connor didn't qualify for Olympics, it's not the end of the world.
Not talking about you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you obviously got a great
for me,
experience.
yeah, because what would have happened before would have been I would have been really looking at what I'd done wrong. Why is he not qualified for that? I've done something that's wrong. We really just look at it and go, it's not the end of the world. They look at somebody like Erica there, who is my niece, by the way. It's not just some random kid. Whose mother jumps for joy and wants the video when they blow bubbles. And you suddenly realise, actually, you know what? That's what swimming is. It's what gives you that initial passion for a sport. It's what gets you hooked at the first point. And it's been a reminder for me that's where I started when I was 15 or 16. And that's kind of what got me into the sport in the first place. So it's.
Did you feel like a connection to that?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's why I walked away. I mean, in 2010, like I said, I had enough. I was like, this is not me anymore. It's not what I want to do. And it was a total disconnect. Whenever the club I'm in now, the head coach at the time asked me to come in and evaluate this program, and I was fairly cutthroat about it, because I'm black and white, and he gathered me around with the coaches and said, "This is clearly to evaluate the program." And I was like, "You've got so much bullpen to do it. It's great. You've got so many coaches. It's unbelievable. Your coaches are unenthusiastic. They're lacking in knowledge. They're lacking in discipline. They're lacking in this and the thing. And the swimmers are lovely, and they say thank you all the time, but they can't swim for topic." And that was my feedback to the coaches, whatever. And 3 weeks later, they offered me a job, and I lost all of those coaches, every one of them. I had a conversation with Joe that I really struggled. Apparently, I'm really hard to work for. The biggest struggle for me going forward in terms of swimming is not the swimmers anymore, I don't think. It's finding coaches who will work with me, who share the vision that I have. And in Irish swimming, I'm sure it's the same in lots of other sports, but in Irish swimming, our coaches are parents whose kids swim, and they do it because their kids swim. When their kids stop swimming, they lose interest and they walk away. And when I started coaching, there was 3 of us that were coaching because we wanted to coach. And when I look around Ulster Swimming now, there are still 3 of us who are coaching because we want to coach. It hasn't moved forwards in any way, shape or form. And it drives me nuts. So I push the coaches quite hard because I want them to buy into what I want them to do and what the vision for the club is, but they all walk away, I say I'm not the easiest person to get along with. But you know, I've got a couple of guys in there now who are a little bit of a calming influence on me. I don't tend to rant or shout or ball people out. I tend to be a little manic when I get upset. But it's a work in progress. Don't know if I answered your question or wrong with it.
You did. Any fears at all over, any fears at all over baby coming and how it might change your approach to life
I'm
and
gonna be
coaching,
going
because
all
you're very
this.
strong as a coach.
I'm going to be going all this. No, not really. I don't think so. It kind of, like I said, it's kind of still a scary thing, I guess. My interaction, I love children. I love them because I get to see them for 30 minutes and I have them back to their parents and send them home. And unfortunately, I'm not going to do it anymore. So that's going to change. I think there'll be a little bit less. I mean, last summer I was lucky that I got to go to Baku and I got to go to Tbilisi and I got to go to Singapore. I would imagine that that'll stop. I would imagine I'll have to pick one. And I have opposition from Louise, who doesn't want the child to become a social experiment. So I'm actually quite looking forward to taking him somewhere, to be honest. Looking forward to having another connection to my sport, and another opportunity to screw up some kid when I win this time. Excited.